Well, hello third graders, and welcome to a math lesson. This is not a lesson that's in our Eureka math program. This is another one of those lessons that are just going to fit in between. And so many of us, and when I say us, I mean third graders, are good at so many things in math. But sometimes we forget or overlook some of the most basic things. And some of the most basic things involve just the way we think of solving problems. What do we know, and how can we show that? And that's why we review this process of reading, drawing, and writing that we've done so many times. Reading, drawing, and writing. And over and over, and until we really becomes a natural part of our thinking, it's certainly worth reviewing. And in this case, what I'd like us to think about today is the 4 basic operations. And of course, you know them. It includes addition and subtraction when we work with parts and the total, right? And drawings that help us with that include those you've been doing now for at least 2 years, right? Total, part, and part, right? And sometimes the drawing that helps us to compare numbers real well is drawing a couple of tapes. The whole being the total here, right? The total. And this being one part, and the missing part, the other part, is this gap, right? That difference. So sometimes a tape is really good with subtraction because we can find that missing part. And when subtracting is the operation that helps us so often with that. Multiplication and division also involves parts and totals, but the key is that the groups must be equal sized, right? That we only work with multiplication when we've got equal-sized groups. And the same with division. So we're going to use some information today, have some fun, right? I'm going to challenge you to create some math questions. And you're going to create math questions involving this information, right? And these are items that you might find in a store. We've got apples and grapes and oranges, asparagus, walnuts, peanuts, chocolate bar, sugar cookies. And what we have here is a price per pound. Pounds, of course, are the units of measure we in the United States are most used to. It's our customary way of measuring weight. The rest of the world uses kilograms, as you know, the metric system of kilograms and grams, and we've been working with those. But today we're going to use pounds, in part because it works more easily for this example here. So I'm going to ask you to create one addition question. And I'm going to ask you to create one subtraction question and one division and one multiplication using this information. And I'm going to give you an example too. And here's my example. All right, I'm going to solve the example and ask you to be thinking, okay, you're going to create a question and then solve your own question, right? That's what you're going to do. Step 1, create the question. Step 2, solve it, right? And when you solve it with the RDW, just like I'm going to show you in my example. How much do a pound of grapes and apples cost together? Well, how much do a pound of grapes cost? Price per pound, $3. I'm going to just write it there. How much do a pound of apples cost? $2. What am I doing with these two numbers? Am I joining them together to find a total? What do I know? I know the price of the parts. I know one part I know another part, $3 and $2, right? These are the grapes, G for grapes. These are the apples, A for apples. What am I missing? I'm missing the total. Question mark, total. How can I find the total if I know the parts? Put them together. Now, does this sound basic? Well, it does. It does to me. This is not a common lesson for 3rd grade, but some of your classmates are forgetting things like how to make a drawing to match it, right? Where to put a question mark, what's the unknown, right? And I'm reviewing this with you. If you think it's easy, then show me. Show me how good you are at it with a drawing, with a number sentence, and with a statement. By the way, I'm not finished with the number sentence, right? The missing, the unknown here is the total, and that's, of course, 5. 5 what? $5, right? Statement. Grapes. And apples. I think I'm going to start here. 1 pound of grapes and apples are $5, and there's the statement, right? This is a solution to my problem. I want you to create a question and solve it. Okay? Example. How much more does a pound of asparagus cost than a pound of grapes? When I read this and then reread it, I realize we're comparing a pound of asparagus to a pound of grapes. And when we compare, we're finding a difference. And the operation that's all set up perfectly for finding the difference is called subtraction. We don't actually have to use subtraction to find the difference. We could create an addition sentence. But I'd like to use subtraction, and I'm going to show you a classic drawing. Classic means it fits it perfectly, right? Well, 1 tape is the more expensive, right? How much more is asparagus? Well, that's the $5, right? Nope, let's look. Asparagus, $4 a pound compared to a pound of grapes. The grapes, $3 a pound. There's the difference. I'm putting a question mark. That's the unknown. So if we take the total, right? You don't have to do this kind of thing, but I'm showing you because this is a review. Total minus 1 part equals the other part, right? The $4 in the asparagus minus the $3 of the grapes gives us the missing part, right? The missing part is $1. Back to the question, how much more? Asparagus. By the way, do you like asparagus? I happen to think it's really good. I'm laughing because my brother and sisters hated it. So my mom and I, we'd eat most of it whenever she cooked it. Asparagus is $1 more per pound. I could actually stop the sentence there. That's a true statement. How much more does a pound of asparagus cost than a pound of grapes? Asparagus is $1 more per pound. That's an answer. That's a statement. All right. So on we go. This is where you may be more challenged to create a question that involves multiplication. How much would it cost to buy 4 pounds of peanuts? Hey, 4 groups of whatever the price is for peanuts. Well, let's check it out. Peanuts, $3 per pound. And I want 4 pounds of it? That's making my brain just think I have 4 groups of 3. I'm making a tape that matches that. There are the pounds right there. There's each pound. This is the pound, right? I'm labeling my tape. And I know the price of peanuts is 3. I know that. $3, $3, $3 for each of those pounds. What's missing here in my drawing is the whole. And multiplication works when we've got equal size groups. Are these equal size groups? Yes, every pound costs the same amount, right? So this is a perfect setup for 4 groups of 3 equals something. One of you, I know, loves doing a count-on right on top of a tape. It's perfect. And you go like this, 3, 6, 9, 12. Well, hey, if you don't know this in the top of your head, that's a beautiful way to show it. All right, $12. So, got a drawing? Check. A number sentence? Check. Got a statement? Almost. 4 pounds of peanuts costs $12. All right, one more. Division. Now the key to division is that you got to create in your mind here a starting number. This is a total. This is the total amount. So in this case, you're going to know the total. Because with division, that's important. You have to know the total amount that you're working with. Okay? So if you have $12 to spend, well, $12 is what we've got. How many pounds can you buy of the walnuts? Well, so the other information we know is the price of walnuts. Let's check. Walnuts, ooh, $6. We know that walnuts is $6. So that means we can label one part of the tape, right? $6, that's the cost. I'm going to label that, that's the cost. So now we could count by 6s until we get to 12. Let's do it. 6. Another 6 is, hey, 2 6s is 12. We're done. We just did it. 12, the total, divided by the price, the cost, right, of 6. These are dollars, of course. And we find out the number of groups, 2. If you have $12 to spend on walnuts, how many pounds can you buy? We can buy 2 pounds. Okay, we use division to help us find the answer. All right? I hope you have fun with this. Remember, you're creating these 4, and you're going to be using this information when you create those questions. You create them, you solve them. Okay? RDW. I can't wait to see what you do. Now, in terms of space, I think I can only take one picture. I'm going to take a picture of this one, this side. This other side with these examples. If you want to see our work, come back to the video. Right? Otherwise, I'm just going to ask you to solve this on like a blank piece of paper or something so I can see your multiplication and division. All right? Best wishes. Have fun.